Yeah,
indie
it was pretty.
author. I am a huge pro indie author. I would like to see more interviewers interview indie authors and review indie authors. And so I'm always rah rah indie because just first of all, it's already hard enough to break into this field. I mean,
Yeah.
I watched the Pierce Brown. I
have a story about him.
Yeah, I know you've met him, and that's an awesome story. I've heard your story on there. But
Awesome.
he did a TikTok video the other day where he's like, I queried like 130, for Red Rising, and he's like,
Wow.
crickets, and then he's like, this is what I did. But, everybody starts that way. And I queried a whole bunch of people on the Receiver and on my other books, especially Quest Nights. It's kind of a funny story. I just got a rejection like a couple of weeks ago. I queried this guy like over a year ago in the summer. And never heard from him. And then suddenly he responds. He's like, "Sorry, I don't think that's a good fit for me." I was like, "Dude, did you even bother to Google it?" I mean, it's number 3 on the Amazon bestseller list right now. I'm
That's
selling
wild.
80 books a day. He could have at least said nice job with your book or something of the sort. But I just think these guys are so inundated.
Yeah. Yep.
But still,
Yep.
I mean, there's got to be a better way to do it, right? I mean, I can't imagine that they don't have time to just look at this stuff. It's tough. It's a tough world.
Yeah. No, well, and that's like, I have so many people, they're like, like when I had met Pierce, right, I went to this thing and it's like, I had just was like, I'm going to be traditional published. I'm going to be traditionally published. And then when that was the first time I had met indie authors. And it's funny because like Kevin Hurd was actually the first, indie and trad published author that I had met, the first hybrid publisher. And that's funny because then I'm pretty sure Brandon Sanderson did that like I can't remember if it was right after that. It was like Skyward or whatever. It had to have been like right after that. And like his the young adult series, right? The other one with like the kids at the end of the world or whatever. But it's funny because Kevin Hearn was actually the first hybrid author that I had met at that point. And then there was a bunch of indie authors there. And that like really that's why one reason why I started this podcast, because I had met people there, not just Pierce, right? But it was like there's other people too, right? Like Michael J. Sullivan, he had 3 books out at that point, right? For his original series. Then there were other people too. The Django Wexler was still indie. And it's funny, right, to see like 5 years ago when I started this podcast, to see how far people had come in 8 years. And a lot of people were hybrid from there. So for me, it was really cool. I was like, oh, it'd be really neat to interview somebody like you now, right? And then like 2 years from now, like it's pretty cool. Carissa Broadbent, I always talk about her, but she's again Target now, and like I mean everybody searches for her now on my podcast because I interviewed her season 1 and she was awesome. But now it's like she's just selling, and for me that's like maybe it's the teacher in me, but I think it's just so cool to see people be successful.
It makes perfect sense. Like I think that every book reviewer, I want to put a rule out there that's like, hey, if you're a book reviewer and you review a Hugo or Nebula award-winning book, then you got to review an indie book. So one Hugo book, indie book. And it makes perfect sense. Like in the investment world, you could go out and you can just buy Apple and Google and NVIDIA and whatnot and just hope that everything goes well. But there's a lot of investors that go out and they'll say, okay, let's go find those unicorns, those small little
Travis Baldry.
Yeah, right. And so they'll go and they'll find those, and those are the ones that have the meteoric rise. So if you find an indie author and you promote an indie author and they make good, I mean, they're going to turn around and they're going to help you. And the same thing goes with other indie authors, right? I mean, I help try to promote all my indie author friends. Maurice, who did Cello's Gate. You've heard it.
Oh, he's awesome. He was so fun.
Well, he lives here in Nashville. I'm like, we got to go get a beer. So I'm a big fan of his work and his videos, and I hope that he makes it big because he's going to turn around and help the little guys too, and just like I will.
Yeah.